Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a watch launched in 2011 using a movement first developed for the Rainbow Flyback back in the 1990s. This is the Zenith El Primero Stratos Flyback. It is exactly what its name implies. A sports watch, 45.5 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel. It's 14.4 millimeters thick. From lug tip to lug tip, 54.1 millimeters with a 23 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This is a large and commanding timepiece for a wrist to match. You can see on my wrist, 16 centimeters circumference. I believe you need a 17 centimeter circumference wrist to wear this watch. I'll get as far away as I can just to give you a scale, but it's not a terribly thick watch, though it is extremely broad. This is a watch that really flatters a large wrist and somewhat swallows a smaller one, but it is quite flat for what it is. Taking a quick look at the bracelet, Zenith does not disappoint. One thing I like on a large watch is a pivoted end length, the bracelet, so you can pull it straight down out of the lug. It doesn't flare and fight like something along the lines of a Royal Oak or Offshore. Zenith makes a nice bracelet. You can see the screw heads are on both sides, so you will need to counter torque to remove the link, but I'd rather see screw heads counter torqued than a pins and sleeves type of situation. So this is the right way to build a bracelet. You can see from the underside, there's plenty of gapping to vent the wrist on a hot day, so this is well done. I also appreciate the countersink of the link into link to create tight tolerances and impressive assembly. There's a double folding clasp with a twin trigger release. This is going to stay resolutely shut until you press both triggers to open it. The case band is simple, relatively slim and all of high polish, gives way to a bit of a bevel on the edge of the lugs, and satination on the top of the lugs as well as the center links. We have large polished rectangular style pushers, and then we have a polished knurling to the edge of the bezel, which is a unidirectional style. While it is a pilot's watch, it uses a dive style 120 click unidirectional bezel with a little bit of a dish profile and an anodized aluminum insert. The watch is loomed, and it's loomed well. It could do duty as a light duty diver. And then the dial, of course, is overlapping register. And the timepiece features applique rhodium-plated steel indices for the hours, with the date down at 6 o'clock replacing one of the indices. The watch has a metallic blue dial with sunken sub-registers overlapping in the Zenith tradition. Now, what's a little bit unusual, you don't see it often on aviation-themed timepieces, is that if you look at the inner scale of the bezel, there's a Rayhaut outboard that steps up from the dial, and it has a brushed satin metallic inner race that includes a telemeter scale. So that's not a tachymeter that gauges speed. The telemeter is used for gauging distance, and it's generally associated with the practice of artillery spotting. The dial, of course, built around the flyback chronograph, which you can reset and restart with a single push of the trigger. You do not need to stop at first, so it's good for timing events in rapid succession. There is a quick set for the date, though this being an El Primero, it does not feature hacking seconds. Flip it all over, and you can see caliber 405, 31 joules, automatic winding, bidirectional winding, 50-hour power reserve. We have, as you can see, a column wheel in blue with a lateral clutch. It's an aesthetically pleasing arrangement. The column wheel is also crisp and satisfying to operate. As with all Zenith spec El Primeros, we're not counting Rolex, but all Zenith spec El Primeros since 1969. This one beats away at 36,000 vibrations per hour. You can see it's a 100-meter watch. It's a handsomely decorated movement, though mostly by mechanical means. The El Primero has always been a very good-looking chronograph because you can see the operation of the clutch as well as the column wheel, and it buzzes away at 10 beats per second. One of the reasons that you look at the dial, and you can see that the chronograph seconds hand sweeps just a little bit smoother than it would on a conventional 28,800 vibration per hour or 4 hertz watch. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.